Being Chinese and having Chinese parents, it's always been known that the Western world, especially the Australia or America, or you guys get what I'm saying, is tend to kick their child at the age of 18. Now, whether this is true or not, I'm pretty sure in my lifetime I only met one who's been get kicked out at the age of 16, and he has went through homelessness and things like that. You see, if you look back in the history, if you look at industrial revolution, there's a lot of child labor. Many of them who get married at the age of 13, 14, 15, 16. They have a child at a very early age. Now, this concept of kicking the child out at the age of 18 or 21 um, to the voting age, or you have the very strong conservative Eastern philosophy, or I can't say Eastern, dash, 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 um, have your child, remain the house until they get married. You have two different dynamics. Whether one is very religious, there's many factors that gets into staying with the parenting. Strong culture, tradition, norms, religious, or things like that. That is something I cannot predict because everyone brought up differently. This is where nature versus nurture. If you're living in this society now, what is the better chance? Now, what this is what I can tell you. If you kick the child at the age of 18 or 21, the child has to learn things in a hard way. They don't have the parents tell them, you can't do this, you can't touch that, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, blah, 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 blah. Very, very authoritarian. You have to listen to the parents. When you get kicked out, you're on your own. Responsibility is on your own. No matter what you do, all the fuck ups and everything is no one to be blamed, only on you. Now, this could be happening in many factors. It can be divorced parenting, it can be foster care, or it can be many outcome or very, very poor family for kicking a child out. Or maybe the child does not discipline or obey. You have many factor, or dyslexic, or ADHD, or is performing not well, compared to a child that is you hold until they get married. There's two difference. One is one is they learn common sense through learning in the hard way at the age of when you kicked on at the age of 18. You learn about common sense, survival. You learn about how to grind, hustle on your own. Compared to the other one, you get spoon fed, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah. When you get married, you're set. You have a house, you have everything. The Eastern philosophy is usually is when parents save so much money and when they get married, they give them a money for a deposit to buy the dream house, a family house, or whatever. And also they have to look at the grandkids in the future. You have two different upbringings, very, very different, opposite. And in my opinion, living in current rat race world, those who are forced to move out their house to work and study at the same time, to learn and grind. They have to move because of different university. They have to move because of the job. You see, the one who kicked out at the age of 18 has to learn everything by himself. Whether someone has to guide them or the parents has tried pre-prep them all the way through before they get kicked out. This is what I believe. I believe marriage is not a popular thing as was it once was before. Many people decided to have the dating lifestyle and to have casual partner. You don't get to stone to death nowadays, unlike back in the days. And there's a lot of kids stay with their parents' house, even when they're 25 or 28 or 30 years old. Yes, I know cost of living is too high. Yes, I know it is a struggle to live on your own. But there's a battle that they never battled before. What is the difference between Eastern when they move out the house when they get married? There's many things in their life they haven't experienced. All they've been told is their parents don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. You do that, you get karma. Don't do this, you don't do that. He's afraid of trying everything, trying, and this is a big problem. They couldn't build common sense. They couldn't build a visionary. They couldn't build in the independent skills. They miss their parents. And if it's a girl, then they should be under that circumstance. If it's a guy, he should be moved out earlier. He should learn how to become a man, survive on his own. It's easy for me to say that, but this 18 and get kicked out 18, or we change to 25 years old, versus the Eastern philosophy is very very different dynamic. And unfortunately, we live in a society is changing, and it's very different to compare one or the other. But I truly believe those who are over the age of 24 should move out or finish university should move out because they have the sense of understanding, should explore on their own.